Welcome back to Podium Pop. My name is Celine. I'm here with my co-host Gracie. We have another episode for you today. We will be doing a recap over the Formula One race over in Spa, Belgium, and also doing a recap of the Laguna Seca Indycar race. Before we get started on kind of doing a motorsport recap of the weekend, make sure you go follow us on social media. We post our episodes on Spotify and on YouTube, and we also post content on Instagram and on TikTok throughout the weeks in between races, during races, all that fun stuff. Make sure you go follow us, comment below, let us know if you watch the race, and let's go ahead and get started. We can pop the bottle and get right on into it.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Let's do Formula One first?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a sprint weekend.
We had a sprint weekend, and we had it at my favorite track.
How did you like Spa having a sprint?
I didn't mind it.
Okay.
I like sprint weekends.
Yeah, I don't mind a sprint weekend.
Because I feel like I know practice is so important to the teams and so important to the drivers learning the track. But for me, I don't get as excited, obviously, watching the practices because it's not for points.
Yeah.
So any opportunity to see more like racing for points and more competitiveness, which is why I love Formula One, then yeah, I'm all in. I know that a lot of people disagree and a lot of drivers don't like them. But I love them.
I mean, somebody tweeted and summed it up very well. The sprint could have been an email.
It could have been, yeah.
They need to...
But not all sprints are built the same.
Not all sprints are built the same.
Just the same way that some of these full feature length races could have been.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
An email.
I think that we need to add a little pizzazz to the sprints to make...
What's your idea?
I reverse grid.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of a reverse grid.
Really?
I don't.
But then, like, what if it's, like, the only chance for, like, Gabby to score, like, win or something?
This is going to sound really harsh.
Okay.
Qualify better.
Okay, but they don't have the cars or the money.
Yeah, but that's, like, the point of Formula One.
No, I for sure get it, but...
I just don't... I like the fact that Formula One Academy and Formula 1 or Formula 2, like, do the reverse grid because of what it's built for.
Well, yeah.
But for Formula One, I mean, I think it'd be, like, an interesting switch-up, but I don't know. I don't feel the same attraction to it in Formula One.
Okay, that's fair.
Personally, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
I think it would make things really messy, so maybe that could be fun.
It would make things
But I think the idea of it, like, helping out, like, lower teams, like, is good, obviously. Like, I'm a fan of, like, Haas. Like, would I love to see, like, Esteban and Ollie up at the front?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think, like, the principle of it is going to be a tough sell.
That's fair.
To me. And probably a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Any other ideas to shake up the sprint races?
Shorter tracks. I think a sprint should be so long.
Yeah.
I think a sprint
was the quickest. It was the smallest amount of laps all season for any race. 15 laps.
Yeah, I think it's better at shorter tracks.
Mm-hmm. I think for sprint races, let's see, maybe they all, like, have to, like, do a run before they can get in and start their car.
Oh, like they're standing in the garage and they have to run to the car.
Yeah.
Well, what if Franco gets to his car first? What's he doing? What's he doing?
Looks like he's going.
He's gonna hit people.
Yeah. Franco?
Yeah, well, sorry, just because he's usually in the back of the grid.
Well, he'll start at the front and they can jump over the wall to get to their cars.
No, but I'm saying he's lined up on the grid. What if P20 gets to their car first?
No, they'll do it. They'll angle the cars like they do for IMSA races.
Okay.
And they'll just peel out. It'll work.
Okay.
We'll have to work through the logistics of it, but I think that we're onto something here.
Yeah, reverse grid's too hard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's not get crazy with the reverse grid.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so should we talk a little bit about sprint quali?
Yeah.
Okay, sprint quali. Lewis Hamilton. Let's talk about it. For both, jumping ahead a little bit, sprint quali and normal qualifying, he was not having a good weekend.
No.
Pretty much having a horrible weekend up until the actual race.
Yeah.
He got out in 18th for sprint quali, and then he was in 15th for Q3 of again, we're jumping out a little bit. Or Q, I did it too.
See?
Because of you. Gracie, pausing on that.
Okay.
Gracie says that it should be Q3, Q2, Q1.
I need to explain myself.
I mean, I understand it, but go ahead and explain it. I think we have talked about this before, but go ahead.
Oh, have I?
I'm almost positive.
All right, well.
No, but yeah.
Hopefully someone who's watching.
Yeah, new viewer.
I get it. It's like 1, 2, 3 to the last one. 3 being the last one. It makes sense. But it always, the dyslexia kicks in, and because they're fighting for first place, pole position. And then so I'm like, oh, in Q1, that's when they're fighting for pole position, the last round going. So it makes sense to me to go 3, 2, 1 to get for. I get it truly.
Yeah.
But that's where I just always.
I think it must be the Q throwing you off.
It's not the Q
because round you were like, oh my god, I made it all the way. I made it to round 1.
No,
doesn't make sense.
But so if it was like R1.
I think if you just think of it as a round, it helps. Or also, like, if you think about it like this way, like, think about in tennis. I don't know how tennis works. Keep in mind.
Where are you going with this?
But, like, say, because they have to get through, like, they have to wear multiple times.
No, truly, I get it.
It's so crazy how differently our minds wrap around this.
Yeah.
Because I never, ever even thought of it like that until you started bringing it up. I was like,
it's like departures and arrivals.
That messes up. Like, that messes with my brain.
See, and it doesn't mess with my brain.
That is true. And I always have to ask you, which way am I going again? Anyways, Lewis Hamilton, yeah, he was P18 in Q1 or SQ1 for sprint quali. And then during actual quali, he got a lap time deleted, so he was also in Q1. He was not happy with the car, and he was pretty snippy.
Yeah, well, he spun in sprint qualifying.
Yeah, in sprint qualifying, his back rear locked up.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
And then he goes into the interview, and if you're asked him, he goes, I spun. And then he goes, sorry? And he goes, I spun. And
he also goes, probably, like, in this specific situation, he goes, probably the first time in my career. Okay.
I get such bad, like, secondhand embarrassment, especially in interviews. I had to mute it.
Yeah.
He whispered, I spun, and I clicked the mute button immediately.
Oh, no. Yeah, Kimi also had a horrible quali for both of them. Not horrible, I guess, for regular qualifying, but for sprint quali, it was pretty bad. Well, no, he got out in 18th for qualifying, so.
Oh, yeah, he didn't have a good qualifying.
Sprint quali, he got out in 20th. Regular qualifying, he got out in 18th. Again, not his weekend, must not be his track. He cried.
Okay, yeah, Kimi cried. Last year he was overtaking in a rainy Eau Rouge. Did I say that wrong?
I can't say it. You're the one that's practicing French right now.
I stopped.
Well, pick it up.
Do you not remember F2 last year?
No, I remember.
Yeah, but so he's good.
So it's yeah. Something is off with the Mercedes.
No, the Mercedes has not been doing well.
Yeah, so after sprint quali, like, it was like, there were clips coming out and being like, oh my god, Kimi's crying. And it was like him, like, kind of like wiping in his helmet. I'm like, okay, like, maybe he was a little sweaty. Like, it was maybe like a little rainy. I don't know. But then after actual qualifying, sure enough, he had a tissue in hand, dabbing his eyes during the interview. And Kimi is the youngest kid on the grid. Mm-hmm. He's 18. When does he turn 19 again? Not far off now.
No, pretty soon.
Because I remember when he turned 18 last year.
Yeah, they did it around his contract.
Yes. So he'll be 19 soon, but he's young. He's not super experienced. And that's a lot of pressure. I mean, this, kind of talking a little bit about where the situation was leading up to the weekend with, is Max going to Mercedes? And if that happens, then where is Kimi /and/or George going? Mm-hmm. So there was obviously a lot of pressure. There always is going to be a lot of pressure, especially on a team like Mercedes that is fighting to be the top team. So people were like really like up in arms being like, what is like Mercedes doing, giving him this pressure? I am almost positive it's him giving himself this pressure.
I think it is too.
I know, even the way they responded whenever he was like, I'm sorry. They're like, no, don't sweat it. Yeah. Like, I'm sure that it's all self like inflicted pressure that's being put on him right now.
I also feel like the team probably realizes the car's not in an ideal situation too.
Right, they have the data, and also they realize that it's his first season, and Toto even said he was like, we want to invest in Kimi. We want to keep this lineup. We want to grow this lineup, which did shut down pretty much all of the rumors of Max going to Mercedes this year.
Yeah, Toto shut them down on Wednesday.
Although I will say that he shut them down after it was official that Max's contract, he could not have that exit clause. Like, the news of him not being able to pursue an exit clause after this point, like, it expired, like, the exit clause expired. And then a couple of days later is when Toto was like, we want to keep the same lineup. If he would have made the decision sooner, I think Toto would have been changing his tune a little bit. I don't trust Toto.
Max's exit clause ended today because of the race.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Because
why was I seeing reports of it earlier this week then?
Because his exit clause hadn't got into effect. It only was going into effect if he dropped below P3, and he hasn't, and he won't. It was if he dropped below P3 before summer break. And he won't drop below P3 now after this weekend.
No, yeah. But I do wonder what went on behind the scenes, if there was talks. And again, it's easy for Toto to come out and say, oh, we want to keep the same lineup, we're keeping them steady. It could have been Max being like, no, I don't want to join Mercedes, and he's saying that.
Yeah.
But like, why would he not? So I get it.
What are I saw a lot of people being like, it was just after this weekend when he had like one bad weekend. Obviously, he's had a few DNFs, team's fault. So many people were like, I feel like he should have had a few years at Williams. What's your opinion on that?
I saw people start saying that because of the crying video.
They're saying because of the crying?
I'm almost positive that it started coming up because,
I didn't see that.
Or maybe it was a combination of him not doing strong in qualifying versus him crying after the qualifying. I think it was the right decision to put him on Mercedes.
I agree.
I think it's not always the right decision to put a rookie on Mercedes. I think putting him in Williams would have not put him on the right track. I think it worked for George, but it wouldn't have worked for him.
Yeah.
And I truly think that if they've tried to put him on Williams, he probably would have gotten offers from other higher up teams and gone and left. I think they had to put him on Mercedes if they wanted to keep him.
No, I agree. Also, and like, we still have to remember that
and also,
with the new regulations coming in too.
Right.
Like, we talked about it so much last year. It makes so much sense to get him used to it for when the regulations come in next year. I think people are so easy to jump the gun and be like, ugh, all right, this should have been
a goldfish mind.
The goldfish mind, literally, yeah.
Like, they forget how fantastic he's doing. He's still the top scoring rookie.
He has a pole and a podium.
Yeah, he literally has a pole and a podium. Like, it's easy for him to, and that happens everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. Lewis
Hamilton has one bad week and everyone calls him washed. Okay. Gracie, you want to make a claim right now?
You said it before.
I didn't say it on the podcast. Actually, I probably have.
No, we haven't said Lewis is washed. We said we wonder if he regrets moving to Ferrari.
That's true. And I do believe he does.
Yeah.
Personally. He should.
Departures and arrivals, personally.
Departures and arrivals. But yeah, so Kimi and Lewis both struggling.
Yeah.
Others struggled too, but they were like the unlikely suspects. So yeah, in Q1, Kimi, Franco, Lewis, Nico Hulkenberg, and Alex Albon got out, which sucks for Nico because he is obviously coming off such a strong finish the last race weekend to where he was getting out in SQ1. But pretty much all of Q1 and Q3 was led by Lando, Oscar, and Max, a combination of the three. Mm-hmm. Except Q2, SQ2, Oscar had a bit of a moment. Mm-hmm. And it caused me to have a moment of panic.
So did Lando.
They both did. But essentially, like, they were two of the last to finish their lap before the time ran out. So before then, they were still completing their lap. Before that, Oscar was lower in the standings because he had a time deleted, a lap time deleted. So he was in 10th, about to be knocked out, basically. And he had to basically put together a lap that would pop him up. He popped up from there. Or no, he didn't pop up from there. He stayed in 10th. Lando popped up from there. But for a moment, it was literally like, Isaac's up to Q3. Gabby's up to Q3. Ollie's up to Q3. And I was like, these rookies are crazy. And then eventually everybody else kind of popped up and things shook out how it did. But from SQ2, we had Lance, Fernando, George, Yuki, and Liam get knocked out. And then the final qualifying for the sprint race, Oscar on pole. It was Max, Lando, Charles, Esteban in 5th.
Amazing.
Carlos in 6th, Ollie in 7th.
I love this one.
Double Haas's in sprint qualifying. Sprint Q3.
All right, that was tough.
SQ3.
A lot of words.
Fantastic for the Haas, though.
Yeah, great for the Haas.
They were looking so quick on the straights.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They were speedy this weekend. Did fantastic in the sprint race as well. They both got double points in the actual race. The race, like you said earlier,
could have been an email.
It could have been an email. It was decided pretty much in the very first lap what was going to happen because...
Well, not really. I mean, it was slightly decided because in the very beginning, Max overtook Oscar and then Charles overtook Lando, but then Lando got that position back. But then that was like the only... Also, Max and Charles overtaking the McLarens at the same time. It was,
it
hurt. I hated it, but it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. It hurt, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Something to know about the sprint race is Pierre was not able to start with everyone due to him having like an oil leak or suspected oil leak. They were able to get it fixed, and he did join the race eventually, but he was obviously 2 laps down at that point.
He did it just for data purposes.
Yeah, he did it because it was, yeah. And Franco also started from the pit lane for the sprint race, so Alpine, it was kind of like, it was for both of them, I think, an opportunity just to get some data and figure out what they wanted to do for qualifying later that day. But yeah, it was 15 laps, and it was pretty uneventful after that point. Everyone was on medium tires except for Franco, and I think it came down to some data collecting. And Max won.
Max won.
Pretty quick and easy. I'll say who got points in the sprint. Max was first, and then Oscar, Lando, Charles, Esteban in 5th, Carlos in 6th, Ollie in 7th, and Isaac in 8th. So Isaac did get points for the sprint quality.
Some good points for Carlos.
Good points for Carlos. He needed that.
Yeah, he needed it for sure.
Carlos did fantastic during the sprint quali and the sprint race, and we see Alex kind of take over for the feature race.
I was so up on Alex.
Yeah, no, Alex Williams, they had a good weekend, and it was a good weekend all around for the team.
Yeah.
They kind of traded off.
Races, for sure.
Races. It would have been more ideal if they both did fantastic during the feature race, but, we'll take what we can get for Williams.
Yeah.
So qualifying, taking a look at it, everyone but Franco starts on softs. He just has to be different with his tires. He's quirky.
Yes.
In the very first session, Q1, it originally was Gabby, Fernando, Kimi, Franco, and Lance that got knocked out. Right after the session ended, though, it was announced that Lewis Hamilton got his lap time deleted. That dropped him down to 16th, and that pushed Gabby up into Q2. It's the second time that's happened for Gabby, because the other time it was with Ollie.
They were still debating it, but Sauber just sent Gabby out, and they were like, "Okay, well, he's out, I guess."
Yeah, and you know what? That kind of happened too. Like they weren't debating it still. Like it was announced that Lewis's time got deleted, but like I think Ferrari were trying to fight it because Lewis stayed in the car for a couple minutes, even some time into the start of SQ2. Like he was like, just in case they change their mind.
Which, once again goes to show how inconsistent. There's a lot this weekend has showed us how inconsistent, the race control, the directors, the decisions are.
Yes. Yeah, it's race to race.
Town.
Yeah, definitely. It's tough to no. It's like another thing, like we were talking for the actual future race, there was a rain delay. And there's so many ways that they could have there's so many ways that they can interpret the rules. It's I truly don't know what they would do in this situation, because really at the end of the day, it's impossible to predict, because no matter what, whether they, postpone it or whether they have them send them out behind the safety car for a lap or any situation that they could come up with, you could probably find it in the rules and bend the rules to make it make sense.
Well, yeah.
And the FAA, they love doing that.
Let's go over qualifying, and then we can talk about the beginning.
So out in Q2, we had Carlos in 15th, Hulk in 14th, Gasly in 13th, Ollie in 12th, and Esteban in 11th. So the Haas did not make it to Q3. while they did fantastic during the sprint race. Again, it didn't transfer over. It was difficult too during qualifying to know. I think it shook up so much based on from sprint quality to regular qualities, because during qualifying, basically however you set up the car in qualifying is how you have to do it during the race. And a lot of people were anticipating a wet race. So they really played with like the downforce, the wings, all of that to make sure they were set up for success during the actual race. So while it wasn't rainy during qualifying, they had the race conditions in mind, which is why I think a lot of the people that did fantastic during sprint quality, they didn't have that kind of continue. Yep. So Q3, Lando got pole. And then it was Oscar, Charles, Max in 4th, Alex in 5th, which is a great qualifying start for him. George in 6th, Yuki in 7th, Isaac in 8th, Liam in 9th, and Gabby got a time deleted, so he was down in 10th.
But still happy to see him.
Happy to see him.
We need to talk about, we talked about this with our friends this weekend, the TV operators, horrible job this year.
Yeah.
Alex Albon was still finishing a lap in Q3. He was the last one to go, and they were fully just showing Lando's mom celebrating. Love to see it. Siska girl, I love those celebrations. Why did I not see? We were on Siska, and then all of a sudden hear Palmer go, oh my god, Alex Albon P5. And I was like, why am I not watching Alex Albon get P5 right now?
Yeah,
that's so silly. What do you mean?
I wouldn't even say this year. I think it's always been this way.
It's worse this year, for sure.
Yeah, IndyCar and F1 both. IndyCar, don't even get me started.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till later for that.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was tough. Yeah. Anything else to add about qualifying? Or should we move on to the race?
No. Let's do the race.
Okay.
So, it was raining.
Yeah.
And they started the race they did a formation lap under the safety car and quickly determined that it was unsafe conditions, so they red flagged it. And everybody went back in. Now, there's a 3-hour limit for a Formula One race. And so everybody was like, the time has started, the time is ticking down. Like, we're going to see how this plays out. Is the race going to get canceled? What's going to happen? And it kept getting pushed back, like rain is staying till 30, rain is staying till 45, and then rain is staying till the top of the next hour. And then finally, they were like, okay, rain, for us, it was 10:05. By the top of the next hour, the rain should be gone and the race should be able to get started. And everybody was like, well, are we already down an hour from our time limit? And then the race directors came out and were like, no, the time limit never started. But the whole time, everybody was like, oh, the clocks have started.
Even the commentators were like, we don't know what's going on. And that's what we talked about. The FIA and the race directors could have literally said anything. It would have been like, okay.
Okay. Sure, that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah. So, it ended up all being fine and the race to be able to continue to go. But
it was, an over-hour delay is always tough, too, because, especially for the drivers, they hype themselves up. This one they anticipate a little bit more versus, some other times where they do fully anticipate to start. They probably knew that there was going to be a bit of a delay, but still they hyped themselves up. They get themselves set up in the car. And this one they were bringing out, it wasn't just the umbrellas. They were bringing out the full canopies because of how hard it was raining at one point during the break. But yeah, over an hour later of a delay, they do actually get started. And they do the first couple of laps. Originally, they said they're going to do 2 laps behind the safety car. It was longer than 2 laps.
Yeah, it was 4.
It was 4.
But once again, Spa is so long.
Yeah, no,
it felt like
a lifetime. There was a lot of back and forth from different drivers on let's do a couple more laps. I still can't see versus, hey, let's get the race started. And it definitely came down to where they were on the track.
Yeah.
So obviously the people that had some overtaking to do, Lewis Hamilton was coming over the radio being like, hey guys, let's get this race started. Versus Lando, who was literally in the front, was like, I don't know, guys. Maybe one more lap under the safety car.
I'm gonna be the one to have to push first and test this out. Let's keep it under the safety car.
Let's do the whole race with the safety car. I'll finish in first. Oh no!
Did you see that Oscar had said something too? He kind of agreed with Lando, but he also said a couple curse words in it, and so somebody tweeted was like, "I bet the Formula One TV just didn't want to have to do with bleeping out Oscar, so they didn't put his in."
Yeah,
no. It was funny.
Once they were kind of deciding, okay, the safety car is going to go away. Then it was a decision on, okay, are they going to do a rolling start or a standing start?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was really dependent on where they were in the track or where they were finished during qualifying on what they preferred.
What driver preferred.
Right.
Yeah.
So Lando was starting in first, so he was starting on the right on the inside, and it was a lot
more wet.
More wet.
It was more wet.
In that area than where it was for Oscar, because Oscar was on the racing line. He was starting on the racing line. So while Oscar was like, I don't know, let's do a standing start, guys.
Yeah, let's get a standing start.
Lando was like, it wouldn't be fair, which that is typically what they look for. That's what the FIA look for. That's why they kind of, one of the reasons they look at on if they should do rolling or standing, because of that. Mm-hmm. So they determined that, one side of the track would be very unfair. So they decided to do a rolling start. And very quickly after the rolling start, Lando pretty much used all of his energy at the very, very beginning of the rolling start. That like the first turn, I think like literally was like only the first turn, he kept the lead. And then very soon after that, because he used up all of his energy, he kind of had to repower it. And Oscar very quickly overtook. That was a great not to take away the bravery that Oscar had to have to pull off. Yeah. An overtake like that. It was up in, I can't say it, Eau Rouge.
It was in Eau Rouge?
Yeah, it was in Eau Rouge. In the wet.
It was in Eau Rouge?
Yeah. That's what they were talking about.
Oh.
And it was...
Was I not paying attention?
I don't know.
Actually, I recorded myself watching it, and I was like, oh my god, that was beautiful. Oscar, that was a beautiful
I'm almost positive it was. Regardless, it was an insane...
Yeah, it was risky.
Insane overtake for it to be... On the very first lap, you don't have the warmest tires. Mm-hmm. You also don't know what the track's going to be like when you're kind of going full out. And he pulled it off. He kept it on track. He did fantastic. In the interview afterwards, he was like, yeah, it was a little dicey. I was like, but it was very impressive nonetheless.
Yeah. And then afterwards, what it seemed, I think, is like Lando's battery wasn't, I don't know, both Lando and Oscar had issues with their batteries. Zach Brown talked about it afterwards. Mm-hmm. And he was like, Nico Rosberg was grilling him.
Yeah.
Nico Rosberg loves Zach Brown. It's so funny.
Nico Rosberg was grilling everyone this weekend.
Oh my god.
He was a man on a mission.
He was in everyone's business.
And you know what? I love it.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to, like I talked about, I get secondhand embarrassment, so I'll have to watch the interviews on mute and read the subtitles.
See, for some reason, when it's Nico Rosberg being the one interviewing, I don't get secondhand embarrassment. And I think it's because, like, he has, like, the like, guts and the reputation and the knowledge to back up any questions he's asking. Like, some, like, interviewers that, have been successful if they've been a driver, or maybe they haven't been a driver, like, you ask them and, like, you can tell, like, the driver or the principal or whatever they're asking is, like, this person asked me this question, like, you don't know. Nico's been there. He's been in their shoes, and he also just does not give a flying crap about it. And so when he does it, I'm like, yeah, Nico, get to the bottom of it. He interviewed Jos Verstappen before the race started, and he was like, he said something along the lines of like, oh, Jos, like, you were pretty vocal about you being dissatisfied with Christian and how you wanted him to be removed from the team last year. Do you have anything to say about it now? And Jos was basically like, no comment. And Nico's like, oh, you're quiet now. Like, to his face. Just to Jos Verstappen's face.
God, that's so funny.
Hilarious.
Anyway.
But yeah, back to the race.
Yeah, Zach did say that they both have those issues in the car, and we'll have to, like, check it out more. It seems that Oscar dealt with it fine, and I think it was because Lando used a lot of his battery, and then the issue came, and it just didn't. I don't really know.
Yeah. Pretty quickly into the race as well, George overtakes Alex for 5th, so then Alex is sitting at 6th, George is sitting at 5th, and then it is Max in 4th, Charles in 3rd, now Lando in 2nd, and Oscar in 1st, and it pretty much stays consistently like that throughout the race. Pretty early in the race, they all kind of determined that the intermediates are not going to last very long.
Yeah, I tried it pretty quick, especially going for so long that they did behind the safety car.
Yeah, it was literally, I think, the very first, it was literally like laps. Yeah, it was Lewis first, and I think it was literally like lap 10, where he was like, it's already not doing good. So we kind of have to, it's like a waiting game. Like somebody's going to have to pull in to get off intermediates first when the track is dry enough. It's just like who's going to make that first call. And we always knew like once one person goes, everyone's going to pretty much follow, or at least maybe give them a lap and see how he does. And that's a whole like, do we follow him in? Do we think that it's going to work?
Gonna do?
Yeah.
How's it going to mess our strategy up?
Yeah. So Lewis was the first one to pull in for it.
Yeah.
And then Hulkenberg followed him. And then everyone else either followed the lap after or the lap after that, depending on teammates. Oscar did it the lap after Lewis.
And then, so many people went in that time. It was like
it was chaos.
It was hectic.
Which we pretty much knew. Lando went in the following one because they didn't want to double stack the McLaren pit stop. That would have lost them too much time. They were too close together. Everyone gets put on mediums except for Lando. And this was a very frantic strategy call of like, hey, we do this. Do you want to do this? Do you want to be put on hards? And he was like, yep. Yeah, I do actually. And that really split strategy for Lando and Oscar.
Yeah. Garages were very split.
Yes. And it pretty much was the focal point of the rest of the race. For me, at least, watching because of that split strategy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, essentially what that chain reaction caused is Lando put on the hards to basically try to complete the race on the tires. This was in lap 15, around lap 15 or 16.
Yeah. So what their team did is why they went to the hards instead of the mediums is Lando's side was thinking maybe the mediums will fall off and Oscar's going to have to pit again for the end of the race.
Yes.
They would have 34 more laps to go.
Which is interesting, too, because Oscar, after the race, said, yeah, if I was behind Lando, that was also going to be my strategy.
Yeah, I think.
But it's interesting that no other team thought of that strategy.
I think a lot of people just assumed the mediums were going to be fine and could go to the end. Maybe not. I don't know. Or they were just gambling.
Yeah.
Because Spa, you can do it on a one stop.
And I think that they were putting on the mediums. I think they were gambling that there was going to be more cautions because of the weather and because of it being Spa. Yeah. Which they're really, everyone completed the race.
Yeah.
20 drivers started, 20 drivers finished for a mixed condition, race at Spa. I'd call it a success. But yeah, so it was determined. Basically, Oscar had to decide, not super quickly, but he had to kind of feel out his tires and decide, okay, am I going to push the tires hard to build up a big enough gap to where when I do stop to get new tires again, I'll have a big enough gap built that I'll still come out in front of Lando.
Yeah. And
he would have really had to clear both Lando and Charles, and if he really was looking for a 20-second gap between him and Charles. Because if he finished behind Lando, he could overtake. But if he finished behind Lando and Charles, there's a line of cars behind Charles because Charles was, dropping down behind. There's a line of cars behind them. It would have made it really difficult to overtake. So he's like, I can push my tires and build that gap, or I can maintain my tires and hope that they last until the end of the race. And so he had to really trust in himself that he could keep the medium tires going for the whole race. And there was a long time that I think Oscar still wasn't even sure what he was going to do.
At the beginning, he was like, it's going to be dicey.
Yeah. And he held Lando at a gap for quite a while. It was like around 8 seconds for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
Eventually, you could tell Oscar's tires started kind of falling off a little bit because Lando was closing that gap, except Lando had a couple moments where it kind of messed that up. He also had a slower pit stop originally when he was putting on the hards, which pushed him back. He normally would have been probably like 5 seconds off, but he ended up being like 8 seconds off.
He was supposed to come out, I think, less than 5.
Yeah, they said minimum 5 seconds would be the gap. And it ended up being 8 seconds. Or 9, maybe.
It was 9. When he came out and I saw 9, I was like, okay.
Yeah. I was never concerned about Charles. No. There was a big enough gap. It was really a battle between the two McLarens. And despite them being like on separate strategies and so far apart, like I had my eyes locked in on Lando's time. Like I was a Hawkeye on that number.
I mean,
throughout the race.
I was pretty, I don't know. I was locked in, but then I was like, realistic. I think it was like after he made his second mistake, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, definitely the combination of the slow pit stop, I think he had like 3 mistakes.
Yeah.
And like, the
like
combination of all of it was just such a bummer because the 2 of the times he made a mistake, he lost like a little over a second.
Mm-hmm.
And then like that added couple seconds. I don't know. It just would have been like, once again, I wanted to see the battle again.
Yeah.
Like that's all I want to see. I'm going to be happy either way if Lando or Oscar wins. I just want to see the battle happen.
Yeah. I mean, it did last. The battle lasted. I mean, at 40 out of 44 laps, he closed the gap down to 4.6.
Yeah.
And he was quicker than Oscar. He could have done it. And then he had, I think literally lap 42, he went wide, and then even then he was like, "All right, like
no, yeah." He was like, "After
I'm gonna pack it up." I think
I'm not 42 when he went wide again. I was like, "Hey, let's just finish this race."
Yeah, let's keep it on track.
Please,
how about that? Let's keep your second. There was a close battle between obviously Oscar and Lando, but there's also a close battle between Max and Charles for P3.
I was obsessed with this.
So close, and it was throughout the whole race. And for the longest time, they kind of were doing their own thing, and nobody was talking about them. They stayed close together the whole time. Like within a couple seconds of each other. Max was like, I think the closest he got was like within a second. Mm-hmm. He was in DRS for quite a bit. But he never ended up overtaking Charles.
They were
but they were really close together.
Very close together. It was, I got a little scared. They got so close at some points. Charles had a great defense this weekend.
Yeah, he
did fantastic.
Very
impressed with that. Mm-hmm. Charles also just yelled at Brian. Not yelled at Brian. Charles also told Brian to stop talking to him.
So he says, "Hey, you're distracting me.
Yeah.
Too much information." But then he proceeds to yap for a very long time, being like, "Sometimes you give me the information and sometimes that works, but sometimes you give the information and I don't need it, so just maybe don't give me the information." Like, you could have talked about that afterwards.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're distracting me by talking." By the way, here's a full synopsis on why you shouldn't distract me. I was silly, very Charles.
Laughing. Yeah, no, very Charles.
Very Charles. Even afterwards, he like made jokes about it. He's like, "Yeah, I kind of got on Brian a little bit about that." It's like, okay, a self-aware king.
Yeah, for sure.
There's also a close battle near the end between Yuki and Pierre for the final spot in the points, so for 10th. And Yuki was building that gap up. It was a struggle for him to get to that point. He had to overtake quite a bit of people to even be up in 11th. And him and Pierre were battling closely. Yeah. Eventually, Pierre built up enough of a gap that by the end it was pretty set that he was going to finish in 10th. But
happy for Pierre.
Yeah, happy for Pierre. I always get nervous when Yuki and Pierre battle because like they're such good friends, but I feel like every time they are near each other on track, they bump wheels.
They really do.
Like they're just like, it's almost like there's their way of flirting. Like, keep your wheels to yourself, boys.
Man, speaking of flirting, can we talk about Sky Sports during the rain delay?
Oh my god!
So we don't have Sky Sports. We are
F1 TV girlies.
We all split an F1 TV, and our friend Marley texted us, and she was like, "Oh my god, they're talking about Mercedes on Sky Sports right now." Or she was like, "I'm obsessed with this commentary," and I was like, "I'm watching Data right now."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "They're talking about Mercedes," and I was like, and then I get on Twitter.
Like, I was like, "What could they be saying?"
Literally, Nico was like, "Yeah, Lewis and I, we did everything together. We went jet ski." I almost said horseback riding. It's jet ski.
They probably did do horseback riding together at one point.
Like, we were always hanging out. We were always, and then he literally live on air goes, "Oh, I have a new picture of me and Lewis." And they just showed a picture of Lewis.
Even at afterwards too, they're like, "Do you miss like Lewis?
Yeah.
Like, how's your relationship now?" Like, they're like, "Let's unpack this. We got the time."
Crofty really wanted to.
Let's unpack this in. And even at one point, Nico was like, "Oh well, we have like our relationship is fine." There, he's like, "Are you still neighbors?" He's like, "Well, we live in the same building." Anyways, can we stop? Can we move on now? Like, even he was like, "I was like, you did this to yourself."
No, he did do it himself.
You brought up the picture. You brought up how you used to like hang out and wrestle in your hotel rooms. Like you did it to yourself.
Oh yeah,
so
hilarious.
Crofty was like, "Okay, well, let's keep going. Like, let's unpack this. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out of your system." And then he decides he wants to play him up and be all bashful. Sorry.
Hey, we all have our moments, I guess.
We all have our moments.
Yeah. Anyway. But did you see that Yuki and Pierre flew home together?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Pierre said it in an interview. He was like, yeah, Yuki and I are flying, we're flying out together, so I don't really know if Yuki's going to be talking much on the plane. Not in a sense that he was mad at him. I think Pierre literally was like, yeah, Yuki just kind of doesn't talk to anybody when he has a bad result type of deal. That's the vibe that I picked up on.
Yeah.
And it was really funny. Pierre was like giggling a little in the interview.
And like, if anyone can get away with doing that to like talking like that about Yuki, it's Pierre.
No, it's Pierre.
Honestly, so I'm sure they'll be fine. But Oscar did end up winning.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic for him. He built a bigger gap between him and Lando in the Drivers' Championship points. 16 points in between them now. It's going to. I wonder where it's going to be decided. I hope it's Vegas, but I also hope it's not Vegas. Because like I want to be there for it, but then I'm also like, ooh, what if it's scary?
Oh, it's gonna be so
it's
scary.
Gonna be so scary.
Do you know how scary? Like, no matter what happens, will shed a tear for the driver that loses, and then I'm gonna lock the fuck in and celebrate.
Yeah. And
like that would be so fun in Vegas.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I'm so excited. We also just decided we're going to Vegas like this week. Like we fully decided we're going to Vegas. We don't have anything booked. It's just one of those things like we know we're going to be there.
What started it is I was clearing out my camera roll pictures and I remembered that I have a flight credit. And I was like, oh my god, Celine, I have a flight credit. And she's like, where are you going to use it? And I said, Vegas. And then we were like, okay.
Well, I'm not going to let you go by yourself.
And we looked at some potential hotel rooms, some potential Airbnbs. Mm-hmm. By the way, Airbnbs in there were kind of weird. They're like hotels also on Airbnb in Vegas. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. So. Anyway, see you in Vegas.
Yeah, if you're going to be in Vegas, let us know.
If you'd also like to send us to Coda.
Yeah, while you're at it. Yeah, we aren't going to Coda this year. We don't plan to go to Coda this year. We do have our priority for the IndyCar Nashville race, and then the goal is to get to Vegas. I'm still trying to make Petit Le Mans happen for IMSA. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for Vegas. Mm-hmm. But I do wonder where it's going to be decided. Like you said, it would be really scary to see in person, but it would be so cool to be there.
I think it's going to happen in Qatar.
You think Qatar?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be interesting because Qatar's also a sprint.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to go all the way to
Give me a break.
Once again, why has nobody told us when McLaren is going to win the Constructors? It has to be happening soon.
It has to be happening soon, guys. Do the math.
Renault and Oscar themselves have the points of Ferrari. The total points that Ferrari have.
Yeah. It's got to be happening soon.
Before we do Pops and Problems, we talked about a bit earlier, Max to Mercedes officially, Mercedes, is not happening. In 2026, it's not gone for the future of like 27. But yeah, Toto came out and he was like, our priority is George and Kimi. What's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know what word you're thinking of.
Like when someone...
Say it in a sentence.
I can't. When someone that you trust, like I would say it's about Chris Medlin, a trusted source, but like there's a word for it. Or is it just trusted source?
Yeah.
Okay. The person that like always tweets out factual things about Max Verstappen he's from like Dutch media. He posted basically and was like, this isn't happening next year. And that's like the trusted source. Eric Van, can't say his last name. I'll be honest with you guys.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so everyone was like, okay, that's...
Yeah. Before we do our Props and Problems too, speaking of sprint races, the 2025 sprint race calendar did get leaked. Allegedly leaked.
Yeah.
And there's some odd ones in there.
Odd ones.
Canada, Silverstone, Singapore. Singapore sprint race during the day.
Doesn't make sense.
And also it's going to be hot.
The hottest race, that's a night race. And they race there. Don't they race there at night because it's so hot?
I think that in the vibe.
Well, yeah, all together. Hey, when are they going to sleep?
Yeah. I do wonder. I wonder if that was actually like actual sprint.
If someone like recreate, God, if that was AI, I'm gonna be pissed off. Anyway, it looked very legit, the graphic, but I don't know where it came from because all of a sudden it was just like on Twitter and
yeah, it was like everywhere.
I don't like Silverstone as a sprint.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting choice for a sprint weekend.
I feel like Silverstone is already just such. I guess it's mainly too because like Williams and McLaren favorite teams,
Mm-hmm.
that it already feels like such a big weekend. And like, I know both of the teams. This is also like very, you know, like one-sided of me. I'm like, there's already so much going on.
You're like, I'm booked and busy.
The drivers can't do anything more.
Yeah.
You want them to do a sprint? No. Anyway,
so yeah, we'll see what happens. Also, before we talk about our pops and proms, we got to talk about the new Red Bull principal.
Oh my goodness, he was fantastic this weekend.
He was fantastic, and he had some interesting things to say.
I think start of the weekend, walking in on media day, a lot of people were saying this. He came in with Yuki, and obviously, so he worked with Yuki over at Racing Bulls. A lot of people were like, I feel like this is such like not a power move, but like a move to show his support for Yuki, that like he is coming in with Yuki. Obviously, he supports Max, but Yuki hasn't always had the bestest of times with some other people. So I feel like it very well showed that he is like supporting Yuki throughout.
I think that journey. I think it was needed because obviously Max was the prioritized driver. He, you know, is a 4-time world champion. He had the relationship with Christian. He has the relationship with Helmut, like all of that. So for him to come in with Yuki, I think was just more like a, hey, like, it's not going to be like that always. He came out after, in one of the interviews throughout the weekend, and mentioned something along the lines of like, yeah, like, Yuki didn't have the same upgrades on his car, the same parts on his car as Max did. He's like, because they were wanting to have a stockpile of extra parts for Max.
It's crazy.
So we took the parts from Max's stockpile and put them on Yuki's car.
What do you mean Max had a stockpile and Yuki couldn't even have the upgrade?
I'm sorry.
That is...
But if something happens to Max's car, if he crashes, if something goes wrong in the car and he loses these parts and he needs extras, I think it should be spread across fairly.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the cookie crumbles. That's insane.
It's crazy.
That's like James Vowell's Australia 2024 levels of sabotage.
No, 100%.
I can't talk about that.
I know. It's okay.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
James Vowell can't hurt you.
He can. He does continue to all the time.
James Vowell continues to stab you.
Speaking of James Vowell, did you see his reaction to Alex getting P5?
Yes.
That
was so cute.
He was so cute. I have a complicated relationship with that man, obviously.
For sure. Very happy that like Laura is giving equal trade to Yuki on the upgrades, bare minimum, I would say. It makes you kind of think about what was Checo dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I want
a tell-all from Checo.
I know. I was going to say, like, I think maybe once he, like, fully retires, I would love for him to sit down and do a tell-all.
100%.
Because, you know, there's always now, it's like, okay, is he going to Cadillac? There's also rumors that Valtteri signed a contract for Cadillac. I don't know, guys. Pietro, maybe. I actually truly think Pietro could possibly be the reserve driver for Cadillac.
So, yeah. We talked about that a bit last week. I think you could.
I want it. Okay, champagne pop.
Can I have 2?
You can have 1.5. So you can have 2, but you have to still put one above the other.
Okay. My first one is Charles.
Okay.
I think he had great defense this weekend.
Charles has moved you this weekend, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Charles has moved me. We've talked about it last month. It's fine. We're not worrying about anything.
Okay, it's fine.
No, I think Charles had great defense on Max, and he had a good weekend getting that P3, and yeah, you know, tough. He's had a little bit of a tough beginning. Happy it's working out for him. I'm gonna give my 2 honorary whatever to Lando because he's never scored podium in Spa, and he got his first podium. Yeah.
I'm gonna give my champagne pop to Williams. I think they did fantastic with Carlos during the sprint race. They did fantastic with Alex during the main race. They're up there with the Ferraris and the Mercedes and the Red Bulls and the McLarens. And that, after the season that they've been having and really the last couple of years that they've been having, I think that's a fantastic weekend for them. So I will give an honorary mention to Haas as well. For absolutely killing it. The sprint qualifying, sprint race, fantastic.
I think we also need to mention Lewis.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Did he end up getting driver of the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to give it to Lewis. That's why I picked Charles.
Oh,
no.
I'm
going to be honest.
No, Lewis did fantastic during the race.
Good.
He was on the hunt. He ended up going all the way up to 7th. Yeah, starting from where he did, which was literally in 16.
Yeah.
So
he did a great job.
Great job.
He put on those medium tires and just literally went after it.
Yep. Good for him.
Yeah.
Problem? Sorry.
I cannot keep doing this. He kept Alex Albon kept him off.
Yeah, Alex Albon did keep Lewis behind him.
Great. You know what? Okay, so it was a little boring. But, like, end results and, like, talking it out, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But there were times in the middle where I was like, okay,
yeah,
I'm fully on TikTok right
now. Me, Loki, at some points during the IndyCar race.
Yeah. Me as well.
Champagne problem?
Gosh, I didn't think about a champagne problem.
I'll give mine to Kimi. What?
I just forgot about Kimi. Oh my god, wait, I'll cry. Stop, I'll cry.
Like, he cried twice.
And I could cry thinking about the
fact I couldn't pick a better champagne problem.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Kimi.
But you know what? He's going to bounce back from it. He's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, he'll be good.
Someone just needs to, like, wrap him in a blanket. Maybe give him some cookies. Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah, Lando did. Lewis, too, I think, had, like, conversation about how he was talking with him. Thank God we have the right people
absolutely
on the grid with Kimi right now. Because if this would have happened, like 10 years ago, there would have been people looking out for him, but I don't think as many that would have had as much empathy for him. So,
also, before we move on to IndyCar, did you see the interview with Lando this weekend? I'm almost positive this weekend. I don't think it was old. Where he was like, someone asked him about Seb. And he was like, yeah, like Seb and I talk all the time. Seb will reach out to me. And like,
I didn't see this.
And it was like a recording only. I didn't see, I don't know. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
Cute. No, I didn't see that.
He was like, yeah, I love Seb will reach out to me. I've got Seb. I didn't say like this exactly, but he's like, yeah, I got Seb in my corner.
Oh,
kind of like that.
Cute.
Oh, I miss Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
Do you think with all these, like he's not coming for Lawrence's job, I don't think, but do you think Seb will come back to Red Bull?
I don't know. I truly have no idea. Can I have a segue into IndyCar though?
Yeah.
Seb. So before we get into the IndyCar weekend, we got to talk about this.
We have to talk about this.
There was an interview. They sat down. Who was it? Was it Nathan Brown or was it David Land?
Nathan Brown is who I saw the tweet from.
I think it was maybe an interview with David Land.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that. But somebody sat down with Zach Brown and he mentioned how he was going to be doing a rookie test, an IndyCar rookie test.
Indy 500 rookie test.
Indy 500 rookie test to possibly have a like one-off submission
for
the Indy 500 next year.
Exact quote.
And the rumors are flying because he implied, and she'll find the exact quote, but he implied that there is someone that is interested that is a very notable person. Like, it would be crazy for him to come in. I forget what he said, like something like a superstar or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone is tossing names around. And Sebastian Vettel is one of those names that we toss around. Go ahead.
Okay. This is what Nathan Brown tweeted. He said, Aaron McLaren will soon hold a rookie oval test for a prospect for the Indy 500 driver whom Zach Brown could only describe as mega and unreal, should the driver and team agree to terms. And then Nathan Brown himself at the bottom of the tweet said, cue speculation, which I do myself here. 4-time F1 champ, anyone?
Sebastian
Vettel. And then
crazy.
Will Buxton quote tweeted it and said, intriguing, Zach's got a heap of megas in his phone. And then Will Buxton continued his tweet by saying, Ricardo, ? Button, Vettel, Prost, Jeff Gordon.
He's just tossing names around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to note, because some people are like, maybe someone will come from NASCAR, maybe someone will come like a retired Formula One.
Yeah.
The thing is though, because of it can't be someone that has close relations to Honda, basically, because, well, is McLaren moving to Honda next year? Aaron McLaren? Or is that 2027? Oh, I don't know either.
I thought it, never mind.
There's rumors that Aaron McLaren might be moving to Honda, but I don't think that's confirmed yet. So right now, if everything stays the same, then whoever drives in the Indy 500 for Aaron McLaren next year is going to be driving a Chevy, which means that it can't really be a driver that right now has close relations to Honda. So that kind of narrows down a lot of the NASCAR drivers. And it also narrowed down, I mean, I guess none of the retired F1 drivers really have any allegiance to Honda. So I don't think that would, play into anything.
I'm just going to start a rumor.
Okay.
I actually really think it could be Jenson Button. Okay, I think it could be Jenson because Jenson said at the end of the year he's going to retire or stop racing in WEC. And I feel like maybe he could completely go out with a bang in racing and end it with an Indy 500 run.
Yeah. And that would allow Jenson to technically have completed the Triple Crown.
Yes.
Because Sebastian hasn't done Le Mans. And maybe he eventually would.
Yeah.
But it would be pretty cool for Jenson to be able to complete the he's never won Le Mans though, right? Actually, I don't know. I don't think he has.
100%.
But still, it would be cool for him to say, I completed the Triple Crown, I completed Monaco, Le Mans, and the Indy 500. But I could see Jenson Button. It would be really, really cool if it was Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah, I also was also only saying Jenson too because he still has I'm not sure Seb is staying active and fit, but he is race car driver active and fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure if Seb got the opportunity to run in the 500, obviously he's going to put in that work. But
right, I think Jenson would be more ready to hop in the car and go, despite Sebastian Vettel driving for Formula One more recently than Jenson.
I would cry. I can't wait to see who it's going to be.
I know, I'm really excited.
I'm so excited.
Selfishly, I want it to be a retired F1 driver because I'm more familiar with them rather than a NASCAR driver. I think it'd be cool, but we already saw Kyle Larson do it recently, so it'd be cool for someone from the Formula One world to kind of come in and do it as well. It would be awesome. Were there other names being tossed around too?
I think a lot of people were agreeing on Button.
On Button?
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
That would be really cool.
Some people were saying Bottas. A couple people said SVG. Which once again I don't know much about.
We don't know much about that fellow.
Yeah.
We'll refer to the Laps Down ladies with their opinions on who maybe from NASCAR could be coming over. I'm sure they'll discuss a little bit about that in their episode.
For sure. Anyway, super exciting. I can't wait to see. I don't think there was a date given for when it will be, but
no, but still really exciting.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
Me too. Should we talk about IndyCar now?
Let's do it.
They're in Laguna Seca. It's the corkscrew. I once again love this track. Laguna Seca is one of my favorite IndyCar tracks. Spa is one of my favorite Formula One tracks. Great weekend to be me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna quickly go through qualifying. I'm not gonna get too far into it. I'll just kind of talk about the results. Unless there's anything of note that you want to talk about from qualifying.
Just Kyle Kirkwood.
Yeah, Kyle Kirkwood. That's it?
That's it.
Okay, fair enough. So Alex Palou on pole.
Whoa, really?
What?
Is he?
Yeah. And then it was Pato in second, Colt Herta in third, Joseph Newgarden in fourth, Will Power in fifth, Penske. Good weekend. Mm-hmm. David Malukas in sixth, Christian Lundgaard seventh, Graham Rahal in eighth, Louis Foster 9. Again, 2 RLLs up in the top 10. We're seeing that more and more consistently now. I think that's really it's interesting to see that. 10, Marcus Armstrong. 11, Christian Rasmussen. 12, Felix Rosenquist. Scott McLaughlin in 13th again. All the Penske's up in top 13. Then we see Kiffin, Simpson, Marcus Ericsson, Nolan Siegel in 16th. Renus VK 17th. Kyle Kirkwood down in 18th. Sad for us.
Bummer City.
Yeah, Bummer City. Scott Dixon, Santina Ferrucci, Jacob Abel, Alexander Rossi, Connor Daly 23rd. Caleb Milot, Robert Schwartzman, Stingray Robb, and Devlin DeFrancesco finishing up in 27th. Any thoughts? I mean, the Penske's all in the top 13, which a year ago, if you would have said, all the Penske's are in the top 13, you'd be like, okay. Sure. But for this season, pretty good results for them. Yeah. I think, again, like I said, RLL having 2 cars in the top 10 is great for them. I mean, both of the MSRs did pretty good. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was just pretty excited, Pato getting second and being up there next to Alex.
Alex and Pato 1-2, reflecting where they are in the championship standing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You can't write shit like that. Should we talk about the race?
Yeah.
Alex pretty much leads the whole time. Guys, Alex Palou.
And I would like to say something.
Okay. Go for it.
He's a fantastic race car driver.
Sweetest man ever.
Actually, genuinely very, very nice. I'm bored. See, like, and it's nothing against Alex.
It's nothing against Alex. It's almost like if you set aside first and then you kind of focus on, like, everything after first, it's really exciting. It's really close racing. But listen, IndyCar, we have a reputation to keep up. We always said, hey, if you're sick of the same person winning every weekend in Formula One and you want crazy racing and a different winner every weekend, come to IndyCar. And this year,
everyone came over to IndyCar and they're like, guys, is this 2023 Formula One?
Yeah.
Like, wait.
It's scary. So yeah, he pretty much leads throughout most, if not all of the race.
He's like actually insane.
No, and he was like
a couple of the yellow flags,
the gaps he was building.
Yeah, he would restart the race and a lap would happen and he would already have like a 1-2 second gap.
He's amazing. He truly is. I think
what's in his bones?
What's in his bones? What's in his mind, body, and soul?
Do you think he drinks whole milk every day?
Probably. Probably. So we'll talk about lap one. That was, like I said, the IndyCar race wasn't the most exciting. I think the most excitement came out of the very first lap where Robert at one point goes off, Connor Daly goes into the gravel at one point, and then there's a big crash at turn 6 between Kiffin and Felix. It's a scary crash.
Kiffin, that like, I felt that.
Yeah.
That looked like it hurt.
It looked like it hurt pretty bad.
He was seen and cleared for medical, though, so happy to hear that.
Yes.
Everything was happening at once. My jaw dropped. Fully, my jaw dropped. I was like, what is going on?
Well, because I saw, like, Robert go off, and I saw Connor Daly go off, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, like, we're having some excitement. And then you just see Kiff go through, and you're like, oh my gosh!
And then you see the cute little car that Felix Rosencrest was driving.
Oh my gosh. Felix did get back out there.
He did.
But it didn't look like at first. It looked like he was getting kind of beached in the gravel. He was luckily able to get out, and he was able to get back on track. Kiffin was out. A couple laps after that, in lap 11, Jacob Abel goes into the wall with what we think was a back rear brake problem, something with the throttle. It was not his fault. It looked pretty brutal too. Like, he pretty much just drove straight into the wall. And if that was at a different corner, or if it was maybe at a higher speed corner, it could have been really dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
So glad that he was okay. He hopped out of the car pretty quickly. In my notes, I literally have Alex Palou, insane man.
He is.
Because he was literally almost a second a lap quicker than the rest of the grid at one point.
It's crazy.
Super crazy. We had a lot of some unsuspecting people up near the top for a lot of it. Callum Ilott, I mean, keep in mind, Callum Ilott qualified in 24th. And he, at one point, was up near the top, and they're like, depending on strategy and depending on if there's a caution or yellow flag, he could be going for a podium. And the fact that he was there from qualifying in 24th, again, just proves that despite there being the same winner most weekends in IndyCar, like, there's good racing.
Yeah,
and there's always going to be a shake-up. This wasn't even like a mixed weather race. It was really just a pretty straightforward race, and there was still that much of a mix-up in the standings from where qualifying was to where the race ended. So, something to keep in mind there. But yeah, a lot of people we saw going into the gravel, a lot of gravel being picked up. VK at one point goes into the gravel. It was very scary.
Yeah.
Renus did end up crashing. Could possibly be Kyle's fault.
No,
it was definitely Kyle's fault.
It was absolutely Kyle's fault.
They were racing. Kyle thought that he was going to... Kyle was trying to pull a move on him, anticipated him to do a move that he didn't do. Renus was like, F you, I'm not moving. And Kyle was like, let me booty bump you then. And he did, right into the wall.
Me, when I'm walking past a stranger on the sidewalk and it's a man and the man refuses to move, and I said, well, I'm going to bump into you.
Yeah. As a Kyle Kirkwood girly, Renus I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Which is so ironic that those were the two drivers that really came to blows, because we actually, as a friend group, so this past week, actually, just a couple days ago, declared our group allegiance to Renus.
Yeah, we did.
And for those familiar with the Kirk girls, those were our two guys that our group shared allegiance to as a whole. And to have them come to blows together...
Us, Marley, and MJ in Nashville, something came over us, and we were
the Kirk girls.
Kyle Kirkwood stands.
He was on pole. Fans. Yeah.
He got pole after we got the jerseys, didn't he?
No.
Oh.
We got the jerseys because he was on pole.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, my bad. Anyway, and then we swiftly adopted Andrea, and we were like, well, we need to include Andrea in this. And then so we adopted Renus VK.
Yeah. And that is now famously known as the Renus Rat Pack.
So those are our sons.
Let's not call them our sons.
Why?
I find them too attractive to call them my son. We're not going to do that. Those are our besties.
You just friend zone them?
Better than calling them my son.
Well, I was going to say they're both in timeout, or Kyle's in timeout.
Yeah, they're currently wearing the Let's Get Along t-shirt. Yeah. But yeah, they ended up having a moment. At one point, Nolan Siegel was leading, again, due to pit strategy, but he was leading during a caution. So whenever it went green, he had the man himself, Alex Palou, sitting behind him. Terrifying if you think about it. Poor little Nolan Siegel, Alex Palou behind him on fresher tires.
Yeah, I mean, he was just staying out until he was passed.
He's like, let's enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, let me lead a couple laps.
Yeah, it's his home race, so a lot of his family was there, so that was probably really exciting to see, but it was a little scary. At one point, about halfway through the race, Christian Lundgaard does overtake Pato, which everyone was like, oh, like, Pato's not going to like that, because Pato's the one that's closer in the championship to Alex. But at the end of the day, like, Christian's like, I'm going to do my thing, you know? And Christian held on to that second place.
Yeah. Pato just didn't.
Yeah, he had a couple moments, too.
He lost second pretty quick to Colton.
Yeah. He was sliding quite a bit. He had some moments. At one point, he was, like, battling Callum for some spots. Pato started really strong. It wasn't his day. He was dipping into the gravel so many times. He was going wide so many times.
I love Pato, and I would love nothing more for him to win this championship, but we can't pretend that Alex Palou isn't going to win it.
Right. No, exactly. And then it was pretty quiet for a while. It was Alex, Christian, Colton. Sorry, I have so much trouble remembering their names. Near the end, with about 13 laps to go, Nolan Siegel bumps Louis Foster during the corkscrew and does a full spin. He's able to keep going, but it was really unfortunate spot to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then pretty quickly after that, with about 11 laps to go, Ferrucci also spins into the gravel. And then from there, that was pretty much the last big moment. It was pretty quiet after that. Alex Palou inevitably won the race.
He's
inevitable. It's his 8th win of the year. And if he wins again, he will have beaten or matched, I forget, AJ Foyt's record of most wins during one season.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. So crazy.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
He is an insane. It's just insane. That's the only way to describe him. Christian came in second. Colton Herta in third. Pato ended up making his way back up to fourth. Scott Dixon, where the hell did he come from?
Where did he come from?
Who knows?
Another inevitable man.
I mean, Scott Dixon qualified in 19th and ended up in 5th.
At this point, I don't think he wants to qualify high up.
He does better moving through the grid.
He does.
Callum Ilott was in 6th, again coming up from 24th.
Fantastic.
Where he qualified. Will Power in 7th was able to get a good result. Hey, where did Joseph go?
Hey, couldn't tell you.
I just noticed that he qualified pretty well, but he was not in the top 9 at least. Will Power's in 7th, Marcus Armstrong was in 8th, and Christian Rasmussen in 9th. I want to talk a little bit about Christian Rasmussen.
Go for it, girl.
The commentators like Will Buxton, T-Bell, they love Christian Rasmussen.
Yeah.
And I agree. They're like, he's so fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And they talked about how they were discussing Christian Rasmussen with Kyle Kirkwood.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle was like, he's terrifying to drive behind on ovals because every single move he makes looks like he's about to crash. Like, he's like, I just thought he was constantly about to crash because he's so loose with his racing. And you saw it a lot at a track like this with like the corkscrew and with the turns. Like, he's so loose with his racing, but it's so well done.
Yeah.
That I truly think, like, not even just like the fact that he's really like upped his social media game, is really upped his overall, I guess, like, career. This has been a really, really, really massive year for Christian Rasmussen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also his racing has backed up how much his popularity has grown.
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't think I think that his social media presence alone is a lot to do with it. But I think his stand-up performances on the track are also, it's just crazy that those are happening at the same time. The fact that they're able to happen at the same time the same year. This has got to be like, it's just got to be such a great year for him.
Yeah,
I'm just so happy for him. But yeah, he did fantastic during the race as well. Yeah, ended up in 9th. So, anything to add about the race?
Sugar, champagne, pops, and problems.
One more thing before we do that.
Sure.
Something I want to discuss. The amount of time it takes them to throw a yellow flag.
Oh, yeah. That was wackadoodle nutso.
Is something... Oh, yeah, we didn't even mention it. Marcus Ericsson spun out.
Yeah.
And he was basically stood still in a blind spot of people kind of turning the corner, going up a hill. Very, very dangerous. It took them forever to throw the yellow flag. Even, like, the commentators were like, surely this is a yellow. Surely it's a yellow. They're about to call a yellow. No yellow. Where's the yellow? Like, it was dangerous.
It was very.
We saw this last year as well during that massive crash with where Santino Ferrucci flipped.
Yeah.
Took them forever to call the yellow. We see this all the time. You would think that they've learned their lesson.
No.
Yet we still are bringing up the same things over and over again. It needs to get better to safety. It's a safety issue. And if someone would have, because at the part where Marcus was stuck, he couldn't get the car started. He wasn't able to at first. He was stuck there. The part where he was turn 6, where plenty of people all weekend have been losing it, dipping into the gravel, going off, going wide, exactly into the racing line where Marcus was sitting. If someone would have dipped their toe into the gravel and hit him head on, he was also turned around.
Yeah.
So it quite literally would have been head on.
Yeah.
It literally could have been horrible.
Yeah,
it could have been one of the worst, like, incidents that we've seen in a while if something would have happened. And the fact that they weren't calling a yellow and it took them that long, frankly, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's oh man.
I have no idea what you're trying to say right now.
I know, that's crazy that you can't pick up on that though. Oh, unacceptable.
Yes, it is unacceptable.
Really, truly, I'm so sorry.
IndyCar, you need to get better about that.
Because it's like an easily preventable situation, and luckily nothing happened today, but that's not to say the next race something's not going to happen. Right,
exactly. And I think a lot of, like, their argument is that, like, with the hybrids, it's supposed to be easier for them to restart the car. And it did look like at a moment like he was just waiting for people to pass to find a spot to go in. But he wasn't. He was not waiting there. He couldn't get the car started. And I think it's better to err on the side of caution, quite literally caution, and say, okay, yellow now, but if he gets back on track, okay, we'll remove the yellow.
Yeah, just throw the yellow until he could hypothetically get the car restarted. And then obviously he couldn't get it restarted. It's very easy. Like, I don't get why we can't just throw the yellow. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Literally does not make any sense.
Yeah, so anyways, that's crazy. But now we can move on. Champagne pop.
I'm going to give it to Calamilot.
Calamilot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good result.
Yeah, Calamilot, fantastic. I'm going to give it to Alex Palou, though. Because...
yeah, he deserves it.
He's... Enough said.
It's like truly, he's just insane.
He's just insane.
And like in the best.
Count how many times we've called Alex Palou insane this episode. I think we're up to like 6.
Probably. But there's no other way to describe it, and we mean it in the most positive way possible.
He's
insane.
Insane. Parentheses compliment.
No, literally.
Champagne problem.
Jacob Abel.
Yeah. Poor little Jable.
Yeah.
I didn't think about who I'm giving my champagne problem to. Maybe Kiff.
Yeah.
It was Crash. It's a
Ouchie.
pretty gnarly one.
That was gnarly.
It's really gnarly. Or Jacob Abel.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been having a rough go.
He has been having a rough go.
Shout out Jacob Abel, Louisville, Kentucky. That's my hometown.
Woo! What a weekend.
What a weekend. We do not have IndyCar next weekend. We have a break for IndyCar, but we do have Formula One, right?
Yeah, we'll be in Hungary.
Big weekend for a McLaren fan because a year ago in Budapest was a rough time for us. So it'll be interesting to see.
I'm shaking in my boots right now.
Shaking in my boots. IMSA is also back next weekend. They are going to be at Road America. So we'll have IMSA this weekend. We'll have Formula One this weekend, but no IndyCar and no WEC. So it should be good. We'll have some episodes kind of recapping the Formula One races. I'll probably do some TikToks recapping the IMSA qualifying, IMSA race. Keep an eye out on our socials. We'll have the schedule posted for those times. Shout out to Motorsport Marley. Make sure you don't miss the times because she misread the Podium Pop schedule. She misread it. We got the times right, but unfortunately, she missed a part of qualifying because of that.
Yeah.
So make sure you're keeping an eye on socials for that schedule so that you don't miss any of the racing.
Yeah, you got it. We've got it all right there for you. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Save it, download it, screenshot it.
Whatever you need to do.
Make it your background.
I always make it my phone wallpaper during race weekends, especially when I'm at the track.
Oh, yeah, that's so smart.
Yeah. It's super helpful. So it's a little fun tip. But yeah, anything else to add?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Thank you so much for listening.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.